So if you've been paying attention to Nashville at all in the last couple of years, you know that there has been a huge influx of people moving here. At one point they were saying there was 100 people moving here every single day. So did the pandemic change that? Has things started to slow down at all? Are people still moving here? What's the deal? What's going on? Well, if you want to know the answers to those questions and more, stay tuned. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, then thanks for stopping by. My name is Tiffany Gudger and I am a real estate agent right here in Nashville, Tennessee. If you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, breathing, working, playing, and all of the things here in Nashville, Tennessee, make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe and click that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. I love doing this video for you guys, but even more than that, I love helping people find their dream homes here in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're interested at all, please feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, reach out. I would love to get back with you and see how I can help in your move here to Nashville. So that being said, today we're going to talk about if people are actually still moving here. We're even going to talk, or I've even talked to some of my previous clients and asked them their thoughts on why they moved here, and we're going to go over that at the very end. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So no surprise, guys, but yes, people are still moving here to Nashville. It's not quite at 100 people a day like it was previously, but they are still coming here, and we're going to talk about why. Number one is going to be jobs in the job economy. For those of you that don't know, healthcare, education, tech companies, all of that, that's kind of some of our bigger hotspots here in Nashville and the reason why we're growing. We usually have a new company move here every couple months, which brings new jobs and helps stimulate the economy here. I asked all of my clients and that have moved here recently, and that was a big thing for them, was jobs. Some of them worked from home, so they could live wherever they wanted to, so it wasn't as big of a deal. They did like being close to such a big airport, but overall, jobs were really important to people that have been moving here and are continuing to do so this coming year. So another thing that was really important to my clients when they moved here and why they chose Nashville over some of the other places is because of how beautiful it is. So Nashville has several lakes, lots of rivers, lots of activities to do outside. We have lots of waterfalls within a short drive. You can be to several other really pretty places in a short drive, like the Great Smoky Mountains and places like that. So the beauty of the nature here was a really big thing to a lot of people that were looking to move here over other places. And that beauty kind of leads into the next topic, which is the weather, because all four seasons are here in Nashville, and everybody loved that. Just loved that you have a beautiful spring, a beautiful fall. You do have winter and summer, and you get to experience all four seasons. Now, let me preface this with saying this past winter, or the current winter we are in right now, has been a little crazy. Nashville gets on average 4 inches of snow every year. We have already had 2 snowfalls. One was actually over 8 inches. So in one snowfall in January this year, we've already surpassed our average snowfall. So this year's been a little crazy, but we don't get a ton of snow. We do have really, really pretty falls here. It is definitely my favorite season. And springs are great. Summers are a little humid for about a month or so, but that was another big reason that's drawing people to this area is the weather in all 4 seasons. Next is that people are so friendly. One of my clients moving here from California couldn't believe it. We were actually looking at a new construction property that was being developed near some office complexes, and one of the head of the city council was out that day, and he stopped and said, hey, and asked what we were doing. I told him we were showing houses, and he stopped and talked to us for probably 10 or 15 minutes. And my client's over here like, what is going on? And we got back in the truck and I was taking him to the next property, and he said, did you know him? And I was like, no, never met in my life. That's just how it is here. You know, people want to stop and talk to you and offer you advice or see if they can help. Southern hospitality is a real thing here. You get on an elevator, you say hello to the person that gets on the elevator with you. You usually hold the door for someone if you're walking into the gas station. Sometimes it's kind of awkward because you don't know if you should hold the door or not, and they're 20 paces behind you. So it is a little different. You waved everybody walking down the sidewalks. I mean, it's definitely something to get used to, but a lot of the clients that I spoke with about part of why they wanted to move here was that local Southern hospitality and just community culture vibe. Another reason people move here is the cost of living. And again, everything can be relative sometimes. So the cost of living here might be a lot higher than in other places. But however, a lot of the people moving here list the cost of living as a big reason for coming, because a lot of them are coming from California or New York or Chicago or, kind of all over the country. And while Nashville is on the rise, and we'll talk about that in a minute, about the appreciation of houses and things, it is less expensive to live here than other places. And especially if you go into some of the suburbs, we have different affordability options kind of all over the board. But basically, cost of living and affordability is a big reason why some people move here. And of course, we can't talk about why people move here without bringing up kind of one of the big things that's pretty common denominator, and that's politics. I hate to talk about politics sometimes, and I know that's one of those taboo things that you kind of stay away from, but it is kind of a mix here. I have people moving here because they want something a little more conservative, and I even have people moving here because they want to live in something a little more like one of our liberal cities, because cities tend to be a little more liberal, and the outskirts here are a little more conservative. But there's a good mix of both people in both areas. I have friends all across the board politically, and most of those friends have friends all across the board politically. And people are a little more understanding here than some other places, from what I'm being told about people that are living in other places, without getting into too much detail. But people can usually find what they want here. I will say Tennessee as a whole leans more conservative as a whole in the state. However, Nashville as a whole is about 60% Democrat, more on the Democrat side. And so it's about 60-40 there, and the suburbs are more 60-40 leaning towards conservative. So, a lot of people move here for that reason. And whatever the reason is, you can usually find an area that you fit in or feel that has the same values as you, or has people that have the same values as you, or, all of that kind of stuff. We have all different kinds of religions here, and people that aren't religious. And I think it surprises people when they come here just how diverse it really can be. So finally, I want to follow up on the growth potential here. So a lot of people move here, like I said, for cost of living and that kind of stuff. But a big reason why people are coming here, and they're doing it sooner rather than later, is because of the appreciation of property values here. So if you've been here for a while, you've noticed it has gone up substantially. I bought my house in 2018, and I think our property values have gone up over 50% since then, like the equity in our home. So appreciation here is a real thing because it's supply and demand. People, it's pretty basic economics, We have more people wanting to buy houses here than we have people wanting to sell houses here. So houses here are only staying on the market, 1 to 2 weeks before they're getting, all snatched up. And that's pretty quick. It's faster than most markets, but it's something we've been dealing with for a while. I will say we are not just in this huge boom bubble thing where you have to pay what the seller's asking, all that stuff. Because, a market sets kind of the prices. So a seller can't come in here and be overly adamant, like, I want X amount of dollars for my house, and list it way over value. It's just not going to get sold. It will still sit on the market, and the market will correct itself, and it'll bring that seller down to reality. So I don't want you to freak out and think that moving here means you have to pay substantial amounts over appraisal or anything like that. That's not necessarily true. Last year, homes appreciated an average of 25%, which is a lot. But think about it. If you bought a house last January, this January, your house has probably gone up 25% in value, and they're predicting that it'll be about 20% or possibly more for the year 2022. So even though you're going to be buying at a higher price than anything we've seen previously, it's going to keep growing, and job opportunities are going to keep coming. They're slowly but surely raising, pay increases and all that kind of stuff. So the economy as a whole is growing. Interest rates are going back up, which can be a little scary, but I mean, we were seeing stuff in the twos, and that's like historically never happened before. Over the last 50 years, one of my lender friends told me that the average mortgage was 8% over the last 50 years. So we are still well below that, but an increase in the interest rates actually means the economy is growing and heading in the right direction. So that's kind of where I stand. I don't foresee the big bubble bursting or anything like that anytime soon. There are still quite a few people moving to Nashville, and no, it is not too late. I had a bunch of people say that, well, last year it increased so much, and I missed the time when prices were low, and this time next year you're going to be saying the same thing, or a couple years from now people will be saying, man, I wish I could have bought this house for what it was selling for in 2022. It's all relative. It's just going to keep growing. Things keep changing. And I know I've gone over a lot of information and I've talked pretty quickly, but overall, the moral of the story is yes, people are still moving here, and there are lots of reasons why. Again, I reached out to a lot of my clients and they all had, for the most part, the same things to say. Job opportunities, housing increase, that they're going to gain equity in their homes, how beautiful it is here and how nice everyone was. Those were kind of things all across the board. So again, I know we went over a lot. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Tiffany Gudger. Dropping my phone number and email down below. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, however you want to get a hold of me. If you are thinking about moving to Nashville and the Middle Tennessee areas, we would love to help. I am the one that answers those text messages and emails, so give me a call, guys. And until the next video, we'll catch you later.